A New York Times Magazine article gives insight into Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas and his wife Virginia Ginni Thomas's influence on the conservative world. According to the report, activist Ginni Thomas was involved in efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. She also played a role in organizing protesters on January 6 before violence broke out, as well as controlling messaging after the insurrection. Ginni and Justice Clarence Thomas have long been on the same page with their political views. But in the article titled "The Long Crusade of Clarence and Ginni Thomas," it says, quote, "In a nation freighted with division and upheaval, the Thomases have found their moment." New York Times reporter Danny Hakim is one of the authors of this article, and he joins me now. Thanks for being with us, Danny. What more can you tell us about Ginni Thomas's role in trying to overturn the 2020 election results?
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I would focus on two areas. One is she's a board member of a group called CNP Action. It's part of the Council for National Policy. It's a very influential, secretive, conservative group. It includes the leadership of groups like the National Rifle Association and the Family Research Council. Many sort of leading conservatives are part of this group. She was on the board of the political action arm of this group, and they were involved in efforts to overturn the election. They were circulating a lot of directives to their membership to support that effort. So she was a member of the 9-member board of that group that was overseeing those activities.
How do Justice Thomas and his wife defy partisanship in the Supreme Court?
Well, I think for a lot of justices on the Supreme Court, they tend to avoid partisan events, partisan gatherings. Certainly the Chief Justice has done that, and his wife has as well. She even stepped down from her litigation role at her law firm. The Thomases have had a different approach. They do frequently attend partisan gatherings. Oftentimes they'll headline those gatherings, whereas you see a lot of other justices avoid those kind of events.
How has their influence in Washington changed since former President Trump came into power?
Well, some people now refer to Justice Thomas as sort of a shadow Chief Justice because the court has really come his way. It's a very conservative court now. And so for years, Justice Thomas was writing solo dissents, a lot of dissenting opinions. He seemed to be kind of on the fringes of the court. But now you see a lot of those opinions that he had over the years are now moving towards the middle of the court because the court has moved towards him. So, and the other issue is that when Chief Justice Roberts sides with the liberal wing of the court, it falls to Justice Thomas as the senior member of the court to decide who's going to write the majority opinion.
What did the response to January 6 look like from Clarence and Ginni Thomas and the Council for National Policy?
Well, the Council for National Policy, in the days after January 6th, they circulated a memorandum to their members. One of the things that one of the members advised was to, downplay what happened, to, amplify the concerns of the protesters to make them seem more legitimate. So that's how that's one way the group responded. Ginni Thomas posted on social media the morning of January 6th. Obviously, she was very supportive of the protests, but that was before it turned violent. And then she put a disclaimer out after they turned violent.
In your article, you write that a senior Trump aide said Ginni Thomas was, quote, out of bounds many times in the White House. They say that included trying to hire more MAGA people who couldn't pass background checks. Tell us more about how Ginni Thomas was perceived in the Trump White House.
Sure. I mean, so she came to the White House more than once, and she pushed a number of job candidates on the White House personnel staff. She also urged President Trump, from what we've been told, to purge his personnel staff. Some White House aides then put together an opposition research document on Ginni and on her some of the candidates that she was advancing, and we got hold of that opposition research document, and that's part of our story.
And what might we expect to see from the Thomases in the coming years?
Well, I think Justice Thomas's role on the court is pivotal now, and I think he's been on the court for more than 30 years now. As I said, a lot of that has been very much on the fringes of the court, but now, as I said, the court has moved to him, so we have a lot of pivotal cases coming up dealing with issues like abortion, affirmative action. So it'll be really interesting to see how the court rules in those cases.
Yeah, very interesting indeed. Danny Hakim, thank you.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.